Hello everyone, welcome to Sacramento, California. We're currently at the Sacramento Executive Airport and we are going to be in the Premier 390 by Carenado. It's new for X-Plane 11. It's been out for, I'm prepared for many years, but it's our first time using it on X-Plane 11 and I want to bring you on a short trip down to Santa Monica, California. So this is the plan we're going to do. It's real quick. We're going to go direct over to Frago, then to the Friant VOR, and then we'll be doing the Bonjo arrival in Santa Monica. Let's go ahead and start the number 2 engine. Looking for 20% on the N2. And we'll move the throttle arm up to idle. And we'll wait for everything to level out, and then we'll start the number 1. This is a small airport in the southern part of Sacramento, where a lot of general aviation and training goes on out of here. Go ahead and start the number 1. This has always been one of my favorite planes to fly, so I was pretty excited when I saw this was announced for X-Plane 11. Because this is one of the planes I missed flying and prepared. Haven't been using it too much anymore, mainly using X-Plane, so it's nice to have this plane back. And it's also the first plane I've used on X-Plane that I've also used on prepared, so I can see some differences. So now that the engines are powered, we're going to get the avionics on. Go ahead and turn on our lights. I've always enjoyed the lighting in the cockpit here, so I want to get all of those turned on. It's got a nice blue hue to it, and even the yoke has a knob here that can turn on a light, so you can read a checklist or such. I don't remember it ever working by this knob. I remember it would be bright already, but I never checked before to see if you could use that knob, so I noticed that. Engine started, the before taxi checklist complete, we're on our way over to runway 20. Now to do this, we're going to get onto Charlie, we're going to cross runway 12, we're going to go to November, go by the hangars, and then onto Delta, crossing Mike, and then we'll be on runway 20. Alright, Charlie is here, so we're just going to go up Charlie, and like I said, that'll put us on November, which is at the very end there, closer to where you see the trees just ahead. Okay, we're still on Charlie. We're about to cross runway 12, and that'll put us on to November.
Approaching 12.
Kind of a roundabout way to get to 20, but it's a fun way to taxi through the airport. And this is just default. Not really
Approaching runways.
I don't know if there's any sceneries out there for this. There might be. I haven't checked. But just running the Airport Environment HD. That's all we have going now. So we're currently on Delta, about to pass Mike and getting on to 20 there. We're going to go up to 31,000 feet today. It's a pretty short trip out to Santa Monica. We're going to leave the plane there just a short time, and then I'm going to move it somewhere else. I might go up to Seattle or somewhere longer. I don't know. I want to do a longer flight and get the aircraft moved. So we'll go ahead and get our landing lights and our strobe lights on as we are about to enter the runway. And we'll just go ahead and get lined up here. Pretty nice day to go flying, clear for the most part. We got 4 knots out of 20, so not much at all. It's just no crosswind to deal with or anything. So once we take off, we'll be making a left-hand turn and basically flying the downwind and then on to the rest of our route.
On runway 20.
We'll hold right here, right on 20, right at the threshold. We're going to climb at about 1,800 feet per minute. And that'll bring us up to 31,000 feet. So we're going to go ahead and throttle up and release the brakes. Speed is alive. V1, rotate. And we're up. Very nice. First time using this plane with a yoke. Positive brake gear up. Start to make our left-hand turn. But very nice, yeah. It was a very smooth feeling rotate. Having the Yoko really helps, and that yoke is actually probably a little more similar to this one in size. It's not as much of a bulky yoke. But very nice, no problems with the rudder. We'll see how it is at landing, but it was always a very loose plane. Change my controls. One of the few planes I had to deal with. It really behaved like a tail dragger at times on prepared. But of course, this is with calm wind. We'll have to see in time how I do with some more challenging weather. Okay, we're just going to hand fly for a moment. We're going to get nice and lined up on that magenta line there, and then we'll turn the autopilot on. So yeah, it's just there's little to do. You want to give the autopilot, not as much room to make corrections. If you can put the plane on target where you need it, then you save the autopilot maybe abruptly lighting you up or doing something weird. So once I'm comfortable, we'll turn it on. Nice scenery out here. No ortho installed yet. This is just default. It's actually pretty nice, pretty close to what this area actually looks like. we're enjoying the sights from the back here. We're going to be having the beverages served very soon, but right now just taking in the NorCal views as we leave for Southern California. We're about to finish our climb out, reaching our top of descent, 31,000 feet. This is where we'll stay very briefly, and then we'll be on our way back down for Santa Monica. Now, the Santa Monica Airport, the interesting thing about it is it's an airport they're going to be getting rid of pretty soon, within the next decade. I foresee maybe some type of fight to stop it from happening, but as of right now, it's going to be happening. Alright, so we're going to start making our descent now. We're descending at about 2,000 feet per minute. The only thing that I've noticed so far is that I have not been able to get the VNAV to work. Now, on Prepared, I remember this aircraft, the VNAV would never work on the way up. But once you got to cruise, you could turn the VNAV on and it would fly the descent profile correctly. But I haven't been able to get the VNAV to turn on or acknowledge the plan, other than it is flying the LNAV just fine. There is no LNAV mode, there's just the nav mode button, but that's pretty much what, you know, the LNAV is. It's taking care of the lateral flight plan. So yeah, so right now just doing 2,000 feet per minute, and that'll bring us down fine. We're gonna go down to 6,000 feet initially, then down to 5, and then we'll be to 3, and then we'll fly the approach. We're coming in through the mountains, just a little bit of clouds, just should have a little bit over Santa Monica, and once we get, looks like below about, once we get out of 3,000 feet, we'll start to see everything, but there will be some clouds in the way initially. Also getting pretty low on fuel. I had the fuel warning just a moment ago. We're getting real close to Santa Monica now. We're just going to be making a right turn and flying in for the runway. Alright, so we're just coming through this last cloud, and then we'll be able to see the runway. It's just straight ahead. Just have to get beneath this. There it is, got the runway in sight. Going to hand fly this approach. This plane is always a dream to hand fly. It's real smooth, real fun to operate. 5 miles out now. Now the cool thing about this airport is there's a nice area. If you look at the runway right now, right off to the left, there's an area there where you can watch the planes actually come in and land, and that's really fun. You can sit down there, have lunch. It's a really great airport, not to mention there's the museum over here too.
Approaching 2-1. Long landing, 2,000 feet remaining.
I can see the brakes are still a little loose. This plane was always a nightmare when it came to landing. You could get a great landing, it was just how it was going to brake. If you were going to turn around, if you were going to lose control, that was always the scary part, but it wasn't too bad. It feels a lot better, I guess, with the settings I have right now. It's pretty good. So let's exit here on the Alpha. And we'll have a look at the replay. Alright, so we're going to taxi to the hangars. This is actually the same area I saw Harrison Ford take off. I didn't know it at the time. I knew it when I got back and I was going through the footage and I shared it. Someone told me it was Harrison Ford's jet. But that was pretty cool to see him take off in his, I believe he has a Citation, one of the newer ones. It's a nice black jet. But it was pretty cool to see. So we're just going to try to park behind the plane ahead of us here. And that's where we'll be leaving our plane for now. Before we take it out to a longer trip, a few hours away from Santa Monica, wherever it may be. We'll have to decide still. Alright, we're going to park it right here, pull the parking brake, and then we'll turn off our avionics when we get all our lights off before shutting off the engines. And the engines are shutting down. But yeah, that's been a fun flight to do. A nice short hop. We'll have to do some live streams with this for sure. And many more videos, but nice to have this plane on X-Plane 11 now. And like I said, it was cool to try a plane that I've spent a lot of time on unprepared, and then also get to use it on X-Plane, because that hadn't happened before. And it's just, it's a lot of fun to use this plane. Gonna keep doing it on the short little corporate flights. So for now, let's get out of this cockpit, open up the doors, and head down the stairs. And let's go have some dinner in the city of Santa Monica. Thanks again, everybody, for taking the time to watch my video. Many more on the channel. Check them out, and you guys take care. I'll see you next time.